Welcome back to Tech Tuesdays at FiTech. Today we're going to cover installing and using the ProCal software. The things that you'll need to install the software will be a handheld and a USB cable and a laptop that has Windows 7, 8, or 10. The first step would be connecting the USB cable to your laptop. On the newer handhelds, we scroll to the bottom to the handheld software mode selection. We're going to select Open USB Mass Storage. On the older handhelds, it'll have a similar menu that'll automatically pop up. So after connecting your handheld to your laptop and selecting the USB storage mode on your laptop, go to the USB drive in your File Explorer. This one happens to be 30,002. In there's a folder called FiTech PC Software. I'm going to copy that to my Downloads folder on my laptop. There it is. So I'm going to open the PC Software folder. It's a zipped file. I'm going to extract it with WinRAR. So I'll extract to here. Now inside the new folder that's created, I'm going to find a setup folder. So I'm going to click setup. It's going to ask if I really want to do it. I'll select yes. You can see it runs through the install. There's a couple of menu items to select next on to make sure you got it. Make sure it's always installed on the C drive. It should install fairly quickly. If it doesn't install very quickly for you, it may be something like Windows Defender or your antivirus software that's preventing the install from operating properly. So now I need to go and install K-line driver for this. So in order to find those, I go to the C drive, go to the Programs, Files, x86 folder. Inside there is a FiTech folder that was just created. Inside there is a ProCal Software folder, a driver folder, and a FiTech K-line setup. x64 is what I'm going to use on this one. It's a 64-bit machine. If you have an older 32-bit machine, the x86 file will actually be the right driver for your laptop. But in order for this to install properly, I need to disable driver signature enforcement on the laptop. In order for the handheld to be able to connect from the laptop to the ECU, it needs to install the K-line drivers. The K-line drivers are blocked by the Windows Defender software, so we're going to have to disable driver signature enforcement. That process is fairly easy, but I'm going to show you how to do it right now. In order to install the K-line drivers and disable driver signature enforcement, you have to restart the computer holding the Shift button while you push the restart. It'll restart and open up into this window, as this window lets you disable the driver signature enforcement. So we're going to click the troubleshoot button. We're going to do advanced options and change startup settings. You can see here, disable driver signature enforcement is one of the options. That'll restart. In order to disable driver signature enforcement, I need to push 7. Disable driver signature enforcement. Now it'll start up just like normal, except I'll be able to install the drivers. So after restarting in disabled driver signature enforcement mode, I'll go find the drivers. They're in the C drive. I happen to have already done that on this laptop, so I can run through it real quickly for you on this video. It's already installed, finished. Now the handheld can connect to an ECU. In order to connect to an ECU, first we'll connect it to a working throttle body. I can see in here it's actually communicating directly to the handheld. So to connect to the laptop software, I have it both connected to the laptop and the ECU. I'll go to the handheld software mode selection and select laptop software connection. I'll enable that. I'll go find my FiTech ProCal software. This one has an automatic connection enabled. If you want to play with it offline, you can actually disable the K-line auto connect but this one happens to be connected already to a working ECU. To get it to communicate, you need to push the dash play button there. So it's actually communicating right now. You can see some of these numbers are changing. In order to open some telemetry data, we'll go to the dash icon there. We'll right-click on any of these menu groups. I can open several at once. I can open calibration items. So, for example, here's the AFRs. The AFRs also have a table that I can look at if I want to watch it. It has 3D views and so on. So these windows can be moved around to fit the screen as you like. These 3D graphs can be seen from different viewpoints. Just close them when you don't want to see them anymore. In order to make changes, just click on the number, double click, it'll highlight. Let's say I want to go to 13:1 here. If I just change the number, it doesn't actually change in the ECU. I've actually got to send it to the ECU. So there's a button called Send to ECU. One of the first things you'll want to do after you've connected to the laptop to your ECU would be read the cal from ECU. It's this read button up here. It'll read the data that's in the ECU already and store it on a file on your laptop. When it's done reading, I'm going to save it as my own upload. So on here, I've created a folder in my documents folder that's called My FiTech Calibrations. I'm going to just name it as upload my 30,002, today's date. Give it a letter designation for just so I can do it sequentially. Click OK, it's saved. Now, if I want to make changes, let's say I want to make a change to the air fuel at idle. I want to change it to 13.4. So I'll change the numbers, then I'll send it to the ECU. If I want to send a whole window to the ECU, I push data to the ECU. That sends all of the open windows data to the computer. If I wanted to make many changes together, let's say I want to do 12.5, 12.5, maybe 11.8 in boost. If I push send to ECU, it'll send only the numbers that have changed. If I push data to ECU, I would send all the open windows data to the ECU. I might do that if I'm merging different calibration data together. Say I've got a file from a custom calibration and another file, and I'm working on a new computer. I may copy some data from things and just open certain windows and send just those certain windows in. When I'm done, I'll save the cal as a new name. Maybe I'll put final for today's date. It'll save that calibration. The laptop software can also do data logging. To data log, there's a log button up here. I'll have to have dash windows open already, and I've created a folder on here that's called My FiTech Log Files. I'll go into that folder. I'll give it a new name, say log2, my car, and I'll open it. And then with these data windows open and the dash already playing, I'm going to push log start. So it's recording this. There's nothing really changing right now, so it's not really going to be an interesting log file. I can push pause, or I push log start again to stop it. I can view it with this chart button. So the log file I just made was here. You can view the RPM, target AFR, idle fuel line. I'm going to remove that. Battery, any faults. That's okay. So the log files are there. I can zoom in, I can scroll. This data file is not very interesting because it's just sitting on a bench. Basics of log file is make a log name, start the log of the dashboard information, and then stop it when you're done. For the calibration items, you can actually double click on a name. It'll pop open a window and a help function. You can also hide the help window if you need more screen space. The help window will show an explanation for what that variable can do. You can see things with idle control, ignition control. There's a lot more information here that you can see in one screen than you can see on a handheld, which makes the laptop software a little more useful than a handheld. But primarily, the data is the same. It just maybe is more convenient if you're going to work on a engine dyno or chassis dyno to work from a stable position. When you're done, you can stop the dash log. It'll stop communicating with the ECU. If you've changed the calibration and you want to save it to your laptop for later use, push save. So that covers the simple operation for ProCal software. Some of the important things to remember when you first connect to your laptop and to the computer on your car, use the read cal from ECU to make sure that you're working with what's in the computer and not working from a default file or some other file that may have been the last time you saved it. If you don't do that, you may be overwriting some changes that you've made with your handheld, or you may be working from our default file, which is just a file that's in the laptop software when you first open it. Some other tips that you may need to use would be right-click on the icon. It may need to be run as administrator. Set it to always do that with properties. In compatibility mode, it may need to be run in Windows 8 mode or Windows 7. You may need to run this program as an administrator. Different laptops have different requirements based on Windows Defender setting, age of the laptop, maybe even virus software. If you run it as administrator, you're able to make changes. If you have an updated handheld and updated software, you may need to update the config files. These would be in the settings files. The map file is specific for the software version. This one happens to be old, it's 195. You may need to update it to 198. We will release newer versions throughout the years. The map file on here happens to be located in the C drive. See this one? If I'm going to update, I need to place my new map file folders into here, place my new config files into the same folder, the CFG folder. Go into this menu and select them, make changes, or I can actually have a whole project if I've copied it properly. I can make a new project. So if I make a change, I'll click Save. The project is an ACS file. The ACS file happens to have the address data for these file locations. That will actually change some of the settings on the left. If you're having trouble connecting your laptop software to your handheld, maybe because of the COM port setting may be set to a number that's too high. To change the COM port setting for your handheld, go to Settings, Device Manager, in the COM and LPT ports. If you need to adjust it, say if it's above COM 8, go to the Properties, do the Port Settings, Advanced, the COM number. The COM number should be below 8, so I'm going to try COM 4. Now it's changed to COM 4. The laptop software can auto-detect between COM 4 and other numbers. The files are actually saved as CSV files. CSV files can be opened with Excel. I hope you've enjoyed our video on how to install the FiTech ProCal software, how to install the drivers, and how to go through and use the software itself. Comment below if you have any questions.